Hello everybody! So today I'm bringing you another book haul. This is kind of an accidental book haul. It's the books that I acquired during the months of October and November. Not all of these I bought, some of them I got from charity shops. My friend gave me some and I actually received a £10 gift card from Waterstones as well. So it's a collection of circumstances that have led to this book haul. So the first one I actually got from a charity shop, and I basically got this book after hearing about it on Mercy's Bookish Musings channel, and it is The Collector by John Fowles. It's about a man who becomes obsessed with a woman and abducts her, and it's told from two points of view, his and hers. My finger's in a really promiscuous position, so I'm just going to change it. I think it just sounds like a really interesting book. I think it will be good to be able to read from the different perspectives, and it's in pretty good condition for a charity shop book, so I was incredibly impressed. The next book I got from the charity shop is actually a classic, and it is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. This is one of those books that I've been wanting to read for the longest time but just haven't got around to it, and I saw it in a charity shop for I think £1 and I picked it up. Again, in quite good condition. It's just the spine's a little bit ruined, like you open it up to a page and it does that kind of thing where it goes completely flat, but apart from that it's in good condition. So I've heard a lot of good things about it. Some people say it's good, some people say not so good, and I'd like to have my own opinion on it really. Then the final charity shop buy I got is the book just fell and I think it just moved the tripod. And the final charity shop purchase I got is The End of Mr. Y by Scarlett Thomas. This is a YA book I believe, and apart from the fact that it's about books, I'm not quite sure what it's about. I've heard Astrid the Bookworm talk quite a lot about this book and I thought it sounded good. If you want plot synopsis, go to Goodreads, they'll give you everything. The next book I got was thanks to Tumblr. I went to have a look at what it was about, and it actually is a Sherlock Holmes story, but it centres around Jack the Ripper. And it is Dustin Shadow by Lindsay Fay. Again, going into this book rather blind, I assume it's just Holmes and Watson trying to solve the cases of Jack the Ripper. It will be interesting to see how the author writes Holmes and Watson. I think Anthony Horowitz did a really good job in House of Silk. I think they felt very authentic, so it'll be interesting to see if Lindsay Fay can do the same. I decided about a month ago that I don't want to do any kind of 50 book challenges or anything next year because it's just going to be pointless, because you know, a couple of months are going to be spent doing essays and deadlines and things. May's full of exams, June I spend the whole month abroad, so it just didn't seem worth it. So I decided that I was going to read, like give myself a classics challenge instead. So I picked up some classics that I've always been wanting to read. The first one is The Mystery of Edwin Drood, and this is by Charles Dickens. It's gonna sound crazy, but I don't particularly like Charles Dickens. I tried reading I think it was Martin Chuzzlewit or something? I can't remember. I tried reading one of his books and I just could not get into it. And I tried reading Great Expectations and I don't think I ever finished that either. So buying this may be a mistake. I'm not sure yet. We'll have to read it and wait and see. It's set on Christmas Eve and it's about an orphan called Edwin Drood who is he disappears basically. And the interesting thing about this book is it was never finished. Charles Dickens died like halfway through writing it, so I don't know if the book just ends, or I don't know if somebody else picked it up and resolved it. I don't know. I hope it's the second one. The next book I first saw on Ramblings and Green Tea's channel. It is Villette by Charlotte Bronte. Again, not knowing too much about this book. I actually went into it thinking Villette was the name of the main character. That's how blind I am. But it's not, actually. The main character is called Lucy, and she leaves England in search of work, and she finds work at a girls' boarding school in Villette. That's basically what the blurb says. I'm sure there's more themes in it than that, but I'm incredibly excited to read this book. It's quite big, so I don't know when I'm going to pick it up, but I'm really looking forward to it. The next book I've actually read before. It's Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. And yeah, I love Frankenstein. It's a great book, so I probably won't be reading this too soon because I feel like I've read it quite recently. But it's nice to have. The next one is massive, and I don't know a thing about it, to be honest. I was drawn to it by the cover, and it is Middlemarch by George Eliot. This thing is massive. It absolutely... I mean, Villette's pretty big, and it's just massive compared to Villette. And Oh god. I feel like if I finish this, I'm going to just feel so happy to have finished such a huge classic, and I feel like once I finish this, there's no classic that I can't conquer. Sorry, I'm not very good at plot synopsises, synopsi. If you want to know more about this book, just go on the internet. You're already on the internet, go research it. You don't need me to tell you about it. The next book I have is another massive book. One is The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt, and I kept seeing it in Waterstones and WH Smith's, and it was really expensive, which to be honest is justified because it is a hardback and it is massive. But then I went into Tesco's to buy some bread and obviously popped into the book section, and they're doing this great deal where you can buy loads of hardbacks for £7, £8 or £9, and so I got it for £9. Next I have a couple of graphic novels. The first one is Persepolis by that last there, and I actually saw the film version of this, but it was a really good film actually, and so I picked it up from the library, the book, and read it and thought this is brilliant. I loved it, and I've wanted to own a copy ever since, but I've never got around to buying it, and then I saw it in Waterstones. I love the protagonist of this book as well. I think she's a great character, so I urge you all to go and check this out, even if you are not into graphic novels. The next book I have is Mouse by Art Spielman, and this has been cropping up on a couple of channels lately, and it's about the Holocaust. I think it's really interesting the way that the Nazis are all presented as cats, Jewish people as mice. It's going to be quite a dark tale. I don't know how you can tell a story about the Holocaust without it being dark, but I think just making it into animals just makes it that little bit kind of nicer. I feel like if there were pictures of humans in there, I think it might be a little too hard to handle. I don't know how I'm going to handle it because I get very emotional about the Holocaust. Ever since I went to Germany and Poland with my school and visited all the camps and stuff, I do get a little bit, I'm doing it now, I'm getting emotional now, so I'm just going to put this down. Oh, I forgot about one. This is a graphic novel as well, and my friend actually told me to read this, and she said it was really good, really emotional, and it is Lighter Than My Shadow by Katie Green. It's kind of a graphic memoir. It centres around the author and her relationship with food and her eating disorder and things like that. I've never been through anything like that, but my ex-best friend did, so I'm kind of aware of it. I'm aware of the effect that it has on the person and the family as well. Yeah, again, quite depressing, but it's winter, isn't it? It's time for depressing reads in winter, so my voice is losing the will to live. The last few books are on my Kindle, or Nook. I always call it a Kindle, it's not even a Kindle. The first book is Memoirs of an Imaginary Friend, and this book sounds really good. It's written from the perspective of an imaginary friend, which I think sounds like a very good synopsis. He talks about how he was created 5 years ago, and how he's quite thankful that he has lasted 5 years, because not many imaginary friends do last that long. Apart from that, I don't really know much about it. I guess it's just his relationship with the boy that imagines him. I can't remember whose channel I saw this on recently. No idea. Oh, it might have been Kimberly's Book Nook. I can't remember, I don't know. I'm sorry. The next book I got is called Tale for the Time Being by Ruth Ozeki. It centres around a woman who finds a Hello Kitty lunchbox that washes up ashore on one of the beaches near where she lives. Inside the lunchbox is this diary of this 16-year-old girl who lives in Tokyo, and it talks about how she goes through cyberbullying, her struggles with her family and heartbreak, and the woman realises that the diary may have washed up on some debris from the tsunami that happened in 2011. So she keeps turning the pages to find out what happens to this girl, and just we get two different stories here. We get the 16-year-old girl in Tokyo, and we get the woman called Ruth who discovers the diary. The final book I have is The Shock of the Fall by Nathan Filer. This book centres around a boy who loses his brother and his descent into kind of mental depression. It's essentially a book about mental illness. Don't worry, I know you're all thinking, what is she doing? She doesn't know the plot of any of these books that she's bought, and I know I'm terrible, but I will leave all of them down below so you can go and check out the synopsis for yourself. So that's my book haul. I hope you lot enjoyed it, and I will hopefully be coming to you with reviews of all of these books I will hopefully see you before Christmas time. I hope you guys are all having fantastic weeks, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!